normal patrol. Had the sergeant, he was up front. So what he did was he took the woman, and her husband was suspected of being on the wanted list. The woman was tied up and near a tree. And I was over there by her, and I would take my bayonet and I would drop it at her feet to scare her, to try to see if she would talk. The sergeant came, grabbed her, said, "F this shit," put her on the ground, took her pants off and stuff, blindfolded her, and he f***ed her. And then another one, PFC, he did it too. So that was two of them that did it. He turned around and gave me an order to untie her. I said, "Why me?" He said, "Because I told you to do it." I said, so I untied her. She sees me, but I think she had enough vision with the way that was tied up that she knows that I didn't do nothing to her, you know? And so what happens is we leave, and here comes that woman with a bunch of her friends, and I'm almost sure they were carrying her like on a big 2x4 of wood or a tree or something. And so they got there and they started complaining, and the captain got down there, they got the interpreters, and they found out, they said, "What?" "Well, she was raped in a village," and he says, "Well, do you know who it was?" She says, "Yes." So he lined up everybody that was on that patrol. And she picked out the sergeant, the PFC, the two black guys, and she picked me out because she saw me when I untied her. So this major comes in and he's interrogating all the Marines and this, that, and the other, and they're all signing statements. They're all making statements. I get in there and he says, Lance Corporal, that's what I was at the time. He says, "What can you tell me about the day's events?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Was you on that patrol?" I said, "Yes, I was." He said, "What did you see?" I said, "Sorry, I didn't see anything." You know, I'm from the old school. I'm not going to rat on him. Black and different, I don't give a shit. And I'm the only one out of the 12 didn't sign a statement. And I told him to go f*** himself. That's why I think I got charged, because I wouldn't sign a statement and I was disrespectful to him. So we go back and I get a lieutenant as a defense counsel. I don't know who the sergeant got, I forget, but the private first class, he got the captain. And this captain had big experience, and he was friends with the colonel on the board. My lieutenant, I thought he did one hell of a job, because when it got time, the woman got up there, she identified the two black guys, and now I get there, they said, "You know who I am?" I said, "Yeah." "I have the record of trial." She says, "Yeah." She said, "Did he rape you?" She says, "No." The other two did. So right there, I said, "What the f***? I'm going back to war." You know what I mean? And B, throwing the bayonet at her foot, that's a common practice. Everybody, that's done all over the place.
Did she mention that as something that you did?
No, the other Marines did. They testified against me. Yeah. When he said I was guilty, not of the actual crime, but aiding and abetting, which I don't know how that happened. I just tied her. Was I aiding and abetting? But he gave me an order to do it, and I did it. So the lieutenant, my lawyer said, "Jerry, I hate to tell you this, but you're a victim of the system. You're getting fucked." Because that captain is very good friends with that colonel. And whatever they talked about over there, now here's the guy that admitted doing it. He said it was a cultural thing. He goes back to duty. I was fucking irate. You know? I thought I was going back to war. I want to go back and shoot people.
When I read the case, it was amazing to me, because what Jerry was convicted of by that panel was not giving a statement. Is really what it boils down to. There were 12 Marines that were involved in the patrol. 3 were charged. Of the 3 Marines that were charged, 2 of them actually committed the rape. Jerry was charged with aiding and abetting. The other 9 Marines that were involved all gave statements to the Judge Advocate General's office. They all gave statements to the prosecutors about what occurred. Jerry didn't. That was his upbringing. No matter what the circumstances are, you don't cooperate. Jerry actually got a worse sentence than the 2 Marines who actually committed the rape. So when I put that in context, and I imagine you're 19 years old, had this not happened, I would envision, had this not happened and had Jerry survived the tours in Vietnam, I would envision Jerry as a career Marine, ideally suited for it. And Jerry wanted to stay in the Marine Corps. He asked to be reinstated to duty. He filed motions to try to get the convictions overturned. Eventually they gave up. He did his time, came home. So I'm trying to imagine myself, 19 years old, limited education, quit school in 9th grade, a felony conviction, a dishonorable, at the time, a bad conduct discharge from the Marine Corps. You don't really have a lot of opportunities, things to do. And his background, what's his formal training? The Marine Corps teaches you how to kill things and break things and kill people. That's what you learn. So he comes back and his father takes him to a place called the Bronx Tap. The Bronx Tap was a place that was owned by some other people, but was, for all intents and purposes, was being run by Gerard Ouimet. Gerard Ouimet, like Raymond Patriarca, has an eye for talent. Now you get a guy who comes in, he's a rough, tough guy, got some experience with guns, doesn't seem to be, got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, he's pissed off at the world, because he got screwed. He really genuinely got screwed in Vietnam.